the series 1-0, but we're swinging things over to Corrode now. And after Envy gave us a little bit better of a fight towards the end of that second half, now they have to come back here on Evil Genius's map pick.
That they do, but this is a map that both teams should be familiar with for Envy as well. And it's a map that is kind of figured out at the end of last year with this exact comp. The double duelist between that Yoru and the Waylay was so popular here, and both teams go for it. And I think that makes a lot of sense, especially for Envy, whose style throughout Challengers, throughout their Ascension run, was really defined by these double duelist comps with the Yoru plus X on Kane and now on Kesnet instead.
Yeah, I think Kesnet might just have the most fun job in VCT Americas, which is, oh, the other duelist is playing Yoru every map. You get to play a different agent on every map, whether it's the ISO or the Waylay. We'll probably see him on Jet at some point.
Maybe some Clove if he sticks to Kane's roles.
Yeah, we'll just give him absolutely everything. But of course, going to be mirrored on the other side. Digizin saw that matchup last year, also going to be picking up that Waylay.
He was so good with the off on map number 1. That was one of the most impactful parts of that defensive side for EG. EG's going to start out on attack, and you know, you've talked a lot about how good Envy's double dive duo is. I think you have to put some fear for DG and Oki working on that same kind of setup with their double duelist.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see Okeanos piloting the Yoru in this one. Still has the flashes, but a little bit of a different role here for the squad. Bao, of course, after playing that veto to perfection in game number 1, now going to be on the Omen. So some very flexible roles for Evil Geniuses, which has been a standard of Potter's coaching style over the years.
For sure. We're hopping into map 2, EG leading by 1. As a reminder, if you lose this series, you go down to our middle bracket. You still have one more chance after that. But you definitely want to stay in the upper. Keep your 3 chances alive.
Yeah, according to Sideshow, if you saw the pre-show, 3 strikes and you're out. So just don't lose 3 games and you're going to Santiago.
That's very true.
It's just that simple. And that's a bandit kill from Poppin.
And that's a bit more normal from Kesnet.
That's a ghost kill from Kesnet. I just got excited. New gun, it's fun. But it still, you know, shoots heads in very similar ways. All right.
Spike down.
Even playing field. Digizin down very low HP as Rossi makes quick work. And this will be back-to-back pistols for Envy if they keep it classy, which they do. Eggster starting to finish the round with the kill.
Nice cleanup from Envy, something they're always very good at on defense, no matter the roster, is holding and then refighting in together. This is a team that really likes to control the pace in aggression. That, by the way, is how he got that first bandit kill. Just spamming through the smoke with it.
And the more Corrode changes, the more it stays the same. Look, you can't shoot through every wall now, but surprise, you can still shoot through smokes.
You can absolutely do that. They didn't change that part unless, I don't know, I guess you want to play Harbor. Which I don't think anyone does.
No, don't think we've got that in us still. Now, interestingly, there were some small pistols picked up from EG. A ghost for Oki, a shorty for Digizin to do some silly little dive plays. It's calm to take the first contact and Inspire. Mows down a couple players. Eggster now just allowing players to run into this smoke. Doesn't care before teleporting on out of there. While Bao has picked up a stinger.
This is so Envy. Look at how they're playing this anti-eco.
Unreal. A Paranoia out from mid, and it has resulted in now a Marshall being picked up. Still not an easy position to play out of as the swings come on through. So it looks a little bit overwhelming at times. It still is going to get Envy their second round.
Yeah, they will play defense that way, whether it's an anti-eco, whether it's gun v gun, whether they're on an eco. Once they find you, they will want to fight. They are very good at it. Inspire re-swinging there is crazy.
Enemy remaining.
It works out for him and ends up pretty clean in the end.
I'll take it. I'll take my 2.
So obviously a much better start already for Envy. Now though, EG fully kitted up. Calm with the Odin. Of course, the gun to always be tracking here on Corrode.
Quick reminder of the changes. You can no longer spam that line, and you can no longer spam this line, which you used to be able to with the Odin.
I don't think the walls go quite as far as you drew them, but I understand the point.
It's hard to be precise.
Words matter, Mimi. All right. Poppin not seeing anyone right now. Oh, now he is.
No haunt breakers. I think they thought it was going to get stuck in that smoke and not reveal.
And that pull back out from A main. Oh, instant demise. Finds Kesnet.
Yeah, it looked like Envy weren't quite ready for those players to be so quick up mid, and suddenly this A main hold is just completely crumbled.
Yeah, after maybe seeing the ping of the player a little bit further up in mid, thought there was more pressure on the B side of things as opposed to splitting on A. That leaves Eggster here, flashing himself on in. Okeanos just holds the line. No issues there.
Cutting through.
And one by one they filter in. One by one, actually. Poppin gets his kill and can reset the round a little bit, see what damage Envy can do on the outside of things.
Inspire is going to be so late on a lurk, though. How much more can Inspire?
That's gross.
Okay, Poppin.
There's no way you get more here. Yeah, trying to make that mad dash for the Phantom. No luck this time. But already taking 3 rifles out of the equation. Not too disappointing of work from Envy. Inspire's managed to upgrade into the Vandal. Now falls on down. EG get there first.
And it really just crumbles in that A main hold. EG catching the timing to pick off those 2 players in lobby. And the thing about Envy is that when they're up, they'll keep swinging and they'll snowball a win. When they're down, they're also going to be willing to keep swinging, keep taking these fights. And, you know, sometimes you get success like those Marshall shots that we saw out of Poppin, and, well, sometimes just snowballs the round away from you.
So Evil Geniuses took things a little bit slower on that last round, tested up into mid, got that split going. Paid off in a big way for them. This time, though, a little bit more of a focus on B main. Maybe pick up an orb, force players out of this space.
Envy likes to play very aggressive in how they anchor B main. See Inspire fighting up, using that molly proactively. Doesn't want to give up any ground on B.
PG have chosen just to leave Oki back in B main for now, waiting to see if there's going to be a refight, and he could take that kill before slipping away as now the drone comes in on a slight delay. Evil Geniuses haven't really moved in behind it just yet. Poppin will be here if they continue forward.
Piper is doing so much as Inspire just threw that smoke. Gets caught by Oki.
Hard read from EG, right? Expecting Inspire to go for those forward looks, and again it happens in mid. This is the standard play you were talking about from Envy. They're always going to be taking these opportunities, especially once players go down. Try and filter back into empty space, get some information, look for an opportunity to swing the round.
This is exactly how you shut them down. Hold every angle, punish players as they go for the aggressive fights. But now there's still the matter of closing it out, and Envy do have 2 players anchoring. A third rotating in as well on B.
Teleport set up into the corner as the dashes come on in. Still that player lodged in sight, still 2 players back in elbow. Calm gets the first kill, and the rest just keep on pushing forward. We're all tied up at 2 and 2.
So early days, EG have the recipe. Put a little pressure on one part of the map, hold for the re-aggression to come in, and you'll be rewarded. How do Envy look to change things up? As a result of these first couple rounds they've lost. Add armor to that wall.
Add armor to every wall, no.
Yo, Hunter! That's how you reclaim B main?
I think he said, I'm just giving you some polite advice at the end.
Exactly,
That's what I'm pretty sure just happened. I'm not sure. Anyways, Envy are going to be calling a timeout to go over the advice they were just given. Talk about, you know, how we re-clear B main, these types of things, perhaps.
We don't just swing through our own Viper utility, I would say, would be the first piece of advice to take up on. Maybe, you know, get a friend, get an initiator over there to help you out a bit.
Get something. Fortunately for Envy, they're going to be stuck on a half buy heading into this next round. Have yet to really contest Evil Geniuses on any of these rifle rounds so far, and that just looks to continue slipping away. Now, Evil Geniuses was a team that was struggling a lot more on their attack side of things back on Pearl, if you remember. But I really feel like when they're playing these slower rounds and just taking the fights as they come, especially that slow work into mid, it's really putting a lot of pressure on these Envy players to go for those timings you see them looking for.
Yeah, and it feels familiar, right, to see Calm back on this team, to see him alongside Potter. But it is very different than that 2023 squad, not just in the players, but in leadership. It's Calm's first time being the primary IGL for a team. He's always been a very vocal player on that initiator role, as many players in that role are, but now having to take over and kind of nurture this next edition of EG.
Envy getting active up into mid, but instantly punished for it. Seeing if they could find anything here.
They're still going.
Bridges in, now the pressure comes in, can't get anything else. And now this puts EG in a really strange position. It's less strange when Envy just keep running into you and dying. For a moment, EG were separated, 2 players towards B, 2 towards A. That can be hard to play when sound is off and it all stalls out in the round.
Bit of a divide there. Eggster runs forward, continues the fight as Kesnet is falling back and rotating away. I think if it's Kane there, you probably see them continue pushing together.
So now, Envy on opposite sides of the world. You really hate to be in a position like this, and for Evil Geniuses, I just think that they've responded to a lot of this aggression very nicely. Like, it doesn't feel like they're reinventing the wheel or anything like this. They just, whether it's the last couple of rounds, put down an insert, maybe played a little bit for mains and just waited for Envy to sort of overexpose themselves.
Plant will come down. Kesnet will eventually activate, but he's spotted out and won't get away with anything.
Now, Mimi, you were one of the Envy believers we had before this series. So far, they had that comeback towards the end of Abyss, but couldn't actually turn it around. What's the hope you would sell to try and get things on the right page now that we're heading into an actual honest rifle round for them?
The first thing I would sell is that I accidentally submitted the wrong pred. And I meant to
Okay, no, I'm not going to accept that.
I'll sell your argument here for Envy. I think the #1 thing is slow down the mid-round aggression on your own. I think that what EG is doing is in their default.
Coach, I'm sorry. I meant to give it to him. I didn't expect him to run there. I'm
Talking
actually sorry.
to the camera. Okay.
Walter White to camcorder.
No, but I'd like to see them slow it on these kind of mid-round re-aggression. We've seen a lot of players just get caught walking up on timings, and it hasn't really been working out. If they go for re-aggro, I want to see set plays instead with the duelists playing together or getting Poppin involved.
Well, one easy solve could just be Operator in Eggster's hands. With that Viper on A main, though, it's a little bit harder, so Eggster just has to hope players aren't creeping up behind that wall. Get his kill and get out, but already DigiZen has gotten pretty close here. And EG, with their hard reads on the main aggros, are anticipating this. That Dimensional Drift goes up into mid. Quick teleport out from Okeanos, trying to scout on back as Eggster gets that first kill. Quickly traded away. And now Kesnet under pressure. The Hunter's Fury trying to play off the back of that information. Forces Envy to run away. And as Poppin gets knocked down in mid, more and more individuals from Envy are asked to enter into the fight. And Rossi steps up when it matters. Knocked down just in the same moment. As Evil Geniuses throw that wall up, slow things down, plant the spike, and set up in the post.
2-on-3 now. This is a very big round for Envy. If Kesnet can get 1 kill, he'll get his ult online.
This hold from Evil Geniuses, covering a lot of their bases, and now as they see more and more players, can make it a little more simple. That dart reveals absolutely everything, and Evil Geniuses shut Envy down.
A couple moments this game where I'm noticing a slight disconnect in Envy playing their aggressive floods that you wouldn't have seen when they had their full roster and challengers. This round, when they go for that fight back sight, watch here how you see Rossi swinging all the way out far on that angle, while Kesnet is still stuck behind that Viper wall. Envy's the team who makes a lot of decisions very quickly. They choose when to fight. They're very kind of just mind-linked when you looked at the old team of how they fought forward. And with introducing new players, it's hard to get used to that new style of integrating someone into that system.
Yeah, because so much of timing, spacing, and swings comes down to communication, but even more at times is coming down to just that raw synergy and expectations. Exactly.
When you've played together for so long, and they no longer have that advantage.
Have to work on building that back, and again, now onto a bad buy from Envy, so maybe not to be asked of them in this round, especially as EG continue to take things slow. It's interesting. You've got DigiZen playing slow over towards A, waiting for that re-aggro to come in. Evil Geniuses very clearly have done their homework and have a set idea of how to play this map. So Okeanos just goes for the swing into B main, gets the kill, gets the orb. He's looking for another Dimensional Drift in a couple rounds.
And he knows exactly what's coming next.
Sometimes it doesn't matter if you know what's coming. You still get sat down.
You do. Inspire getting his revenge in B main this time.
Envy do have a stack towards this A side. EG don't have infinite time to play with if they wanted to get this information and pivot away. And Envy, with an ultimate ready in Kesnet's hands, have a chance here on the light buy to do some damage. Down to 25 seconds now. EG really forced forward into this A site. bundled up with 4 players. As the saturate comes down, they're slowed again. 15 seconds. Envy locking it down on A. EG have no option but to force their way back in, and it's so many for EG. Calm, left alone, charging on in. Only 1 shot left, and he gets it. Time to plant, but not time to pull away from this spike. Inspire, not going to see him just yet. Peppers him through the smoke and takes him out. Inspire steps up to the challenge.
And finally, EG's slow rounds are punished. Little insult to injury from Inspire.
And it's coming down to the wire. So little time left to go. Inspire. What does he go for? There's a gun over there on the ground. The spike, it's ticking away. And he gets it.
Yeah, good bit.
Okay, Inspire. I see your game. I see your game. And we're just going to move on.
Okay. This fight was everything now. Inspire has gone for that refight so many times because they just made it too long. They finally exec in 10 seconds. Bandit in the corner.
Enemy remains.
That is a big round for Envy to win.
Why can I still hear myself? It was a one-time bit. It was a one-time bit.
What did you think about the bit?
Oh, man.
Yeah, me too.
Well, Evil Geniuses also had plenty of time to think about how they lost that round with the time delayed by Inspire.
Okay, Eggster, tucked in the corner here, might have a fight against EG.
Wall down, Clone comes across. There's so much utility, he's just got to run away. The rest of Envy, 2 players in top mid. Nightfall comes on down as another reposition. Leads to Kesnet dropping and ditches in once more, trying to get on out of there. As Poppin swings back in for another kill. Eggster behind enemy lines. At the same time, Baugub zipped in heaven. This map is insanity right now. Evil Geniuses want to come back into their omen, but there is still Inspire on this site. And a nice shot from him locks down B. Back on Abyss, him holding down B site.
Here comes this fight again.
Was massive. Now with a chance to do it again. But pressure in from mid as well. The step on forward as he falls. Again out of it. And Mimi, there's another flank coming back through B main right now. As some stall goes up from heaven. Eggster trying to make plenty of noise. This flank is quick. Evil Geniuses are not looking the right direction yet. And that's gonna punish them. Rossi now in a one-on-one. Okeanos on the other side. Paranoia as he comes in behind him. It's ring around the Rosie. Somehow Okeanos has crept into the center of sight. And Rossi is right on top of him. You have got to be kidding me. Rossi gets it done. We're tied again.
Crazy 1v1 to end it. But it's Envy coming out on top again. And you're seeing how much this team thrives in the chaos. Last round, in the last second, winning out this time in one of the most chaotic mid-fights you'll ever see. Picking the right timings to re-aggress that final flank that came back in through main. Getting that kill onto Calm and setting Rossi up for his clutch.
A little bit wild in that last round, but Evil Geniuses are going to hit the break button. Now as a couple of rifle rounds secured by Envy. Calling that timeout. Potter
gonna... really only one. It was that crazy eco and then that last round.
Yeah.
I don't
they lost 2 rifle rounds in a row.
It's true. I don't think we've truly seen a clean round from Envy yet, but you don't need clean rounds, you just need rounds.
A lot of things going through the minds of these players right now as Potter tries to right the course. One thing I'm looking at for Evil Genius is they've got a slew of ultimates. You've got Dimensional Drift, Hunter's Fury. I think every time we've seen them with those 2 ults, they've always been trying to combo those.
And they've basically only shown slow rounds thus far. They're always defaulting, they're always getting an embed in each main, taking their time in mid. We've never seen them go for a hard execute. So now with the results online coming out of a timeout, there's an increased threat that they're going to turn up the pace, certainly, that Envy is going to be thinking about. Doesn't mean EG will commit to it, though.
And there's a whole lot of flexibility you can have, even if you just wanted to use those to get a kill instead of fully committing into a certain zone on the map. See what the call ends up being, because right now it's looking like some other EG rounds where they have loved to put their 2 duelist players on opposite ends of the map, play for the mains, try to shut down any over-adventurous Envy members.
But Envy reacted to that this time by very early pushing both their duelists into mid-aggressive. EG almost always in this default starts, taking the 2 mains, and then goes back into a mid-reclear. Envy's ready for that this time with this crossfire.
Especially because the mid-reclear might just be with one guy. Okeanos, though, has the ultimate, has the teleport to get on past those two players.
He did not look behind him,
He did not see
I don't think
them.
it'll matter.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to see an empty A site. The problem is these 2 mid players are coming in quickly through this smoke. Eggster has no fear when it comes to swinging on through these, so flash through in front of the Saturate, sat on down. One more player behind as the Hunter's Fury comes in. The Evil Geniuses just mow Envy down. This round over in the blink of an eye. Seeing these last 2 members of Envy completely isolated.
And it's one piece of util that does it. Digizin Saturate there was so perfect. That refight in was very well set up. A flash, an Omen Paranoia, but DG counters it out completely.
Spire will get one over towards mid, but comes in a little bit too late to have any real go into this round.
Yeah, and with players this poor on the side of Envy, you want to save these guns, get a buy over to them.
Now, what I'm curious is, obviously that round from Evil Genius Leap, pretty solved, right? You know, they use those 2 ultimates to run on into the A site, hold down the quick flank through mid. Now they've got to solve these next 3 rounds without the benefit of those critical ults.
So EG now, after showing having those ults online and playing a very slow round, this might be the one where they play with something a little more aggressive. You see them starting with all 5 players in A main, still with that ult online from Digizin. They won a lot of these critical A main brawls earlier in the half when they went for this kind of aggression.
Pit put down over towards the B side. Rossi's in a good spot. If he wanted to fight for the forward space with the Paranoia instead, dips on back as Kesnick goes in, 1 shot and out. Good for the kill. Back onto the line with a good Paranoia as well. 2 and 2 kills. Blind makes things a little bit more challenging, but Rossi turns on a dime for a quick headshot. Helps out his teammate secure that one. Now Common 1-on-3. And no space anywhere on the map. Spotted a shoulder. Tries to whittle away with a shock dart, but at the end of the day, he needs to play a little bit with the clock right now. Envy know exactly where he is.
A player going back to police in mid as well means that Comp basically has to telegraph where he's rotating. And he doesn't have much of a choice with 40 seconds than to try and get a pick back into A.
There are some 1v1s for him to take right now. I believe he was spotted on the jiggle, though, at a timing he didn't even catch, and now the spam through the wall. Only 25 seconds left, and now the chip damage is being sent Com's own way. Recon dart out, that's a clone, that sees, goes ahead and grabs him. Actually just missed. He's really taking his time here. Spots the flash, turns it, pushes forward, but no kill, and now without any time left on the clock, the magic is lost. And Eggster will take a 5th.
I don't know if I've ever seen someone killed by, what was that, 4 or 5 jumping Bucky right clicks?
Well, I think there might have been a shorty involved initially, and then it switched over to a Bucky. I'm not really quite sure. There was so many.
What I know is that Kesnet won them this round. Those shots were just impressive.
Yeah, this from Rossi too as well. A headshot right before he falls down.
Yeah. I like to see Envy willing to play that more passive defense on A, though. They lost a lot of early rounds, just like full committing into this lobby fight. Here they play a bit more passive and fight back in after they hear that EG util. Get rewarded for it.
Oki, the only player with a rifle in hand for Evil Geniuses. And Eggster, one of the first times ever, steps into the corner. Finally realizing this pattern of how Okeanos likes to play for the B main space. Probably the best round for it to happen as well. Take that hero rifle straight on out of the hands. Digizin a little bit slow there. Pick up the gun, and Spire will take that kill too.
They do get out on site, but this is still a tough fight. Inspire here.
I mean, it's just a mess, right? Envy making quick work of things. A flawless round for them. Take the lead once again. It's been a while since we could have said that for them.
Yeah, I really like that different approach to the B main fight. Showing the one way there, which it's just so effective to catch Bow on that timing you're talking about that he just kept taking. know, it really feels like the second half of Abyss, where EG is leading, they have the read, and then flip switches, and it starts to slip away.
Yeah, the main thing, though, was Evil Geniuses on the defense side were absolutely lights out.
It's true.
So if you're going pure side, oh, double dive on in from Kesnet with the lineup there. Nice trade from Okeanos, playing a little bit further back this time around.
EG was trying to run their own set play, set up for that ultimate. Said they're the ones getting caught out. Thankfully, though, with that trade back onto Kesnet, his ult won't be a factor, and it goes 1 for 1.
Now over on the B side, Okeanos has stuck around.
He heard the TP out. Does he know about Rossi? No.
No, he does now. Gonna remember that one. EG had stepped forward into A main as well, but Envy are just holding these angles a little bit too strongly right now. Good Prowler out, allows Inspire to go ahead and get yet another. And now with the ultimate to regroup out of Rossi, this round is cooked.
And these are the exact kind of solutions I wanted to see from Envy. Instead of re-clearing space alone, go for the mid-round set plays, always be paired up and fighting together. It's pretty basic stuff, but they execute on it so much better after getting that first time out.
Calm goes ahead and runs all the way into mid. Unfortunately for him, Exter's already
30 seconds left.
caught this rotation. Just going for the jump peaks, now reveals exactly what is going down. 20 seconds left onto the clock, so Envy are actually going to have the lead here going into the second half on EG's own map pick. Assuming all goes according to plan, there's still a little time left onto the clock. Exter chooses to just go ahead and allow the spam, so while you can't spam through most of that wall, that little corner right there, you still can, Mimi.
You can. And that's Envy up 7-5. Really great recovery from them. They win the pistol, lose 4 in a row, and then put it all together. This was a great set play. A lot of it was about figuring out how EG was playing B main control. They started dominating that space in the second quarter. And it nets them an advantageous half. Still more to play. Second half of Corrode after this.
Well, Mimi, Envy certainly built off that success they started finding in the second half of Abyss and currently lead at 7-5 on the half. The big question for them is, will they be able to overcome Evil Genius's defense, which was so lights out on the previous showing?
Yeah, it was outstanding, and I think the big people you're looking towards this half is Kesnet and Exter. I call out a couple moments where I felt like the synergy was a little off with Kesnet, the new addition to this team, but individually he has still been outstanding. And those two will certainly have to apply themselves on this attacking half for Envy that relies so much on these hyper-aggressive double dive plays.
And one of the things we'll be watching is some of that aggression in the post plants, the forward fights from Envy. EG love to play heavy on the retake, and we're dominating Envy in those late round skirmishes. This time Envy not really doing any amount of misdirection. It's just a full-on exec over towards B, where the Bandit gets a couple of nice shots out of Soup, and he can fall on back and set his team up again for that post plant. This time, though, Envy just charging on forward. 2 players now going for the swing, and it's not advisable. It is a disaster for Envy.
It's reminiscent of the first map there with holding for that re-aggression.
And even here, I like how patient Bao is being, waiting in the corner, anticipating again. Eventually, Envy's gonna try a little something. EG have plenty of time. They reacted very quickly on the map. They've got 2 players already in B main. So Bao's gonna be one of the last guys to activate. He's got to know there's players around here. Now he's looking at him. Nice shot from Poppin on the return, but dodges in, and Supa filter on through to take this pistol nice and clean for EG.
Yeah, you saw how willing EG were to give the space there to the double dive. They know how much Envy loves those hyper-aggressive site takes. So you give them their space, you wait for them to swing just that little bit too far, as you see here, and immediately punished. And only when that's complete do you activate this pinch. All of the keys that won EG Abyss got shown again here on the pistol round.
Crispy work out from EG. Get to see a little preview of these next few rounds, because I think one of the things EG can do very easily is stall out on the Viper side of the map, especially, and just play for quicker rotates with the Yoru, with the team on through mid.
So Envy were playing a lot on their defense with that solo Viper anchor on B.
Yeah, this time EG may be trying to have some variance in how they hold the B space. Dijizin's got an Outlaw in hand. Give that man a scoped weapon any day of the week. This time he's posted up on a more passive line over on B.
You're talking about win cons as well. Don't let Dujizin get an op.
I'm not sure that Envy have the choice there.
No, certainly they don't. But if you can shut them down once, keep their money in a bad spot, maybe.
Yeah,
but,
that's the hope. Usually that comes after winning a pistol round.
It does.
Or winning one of these swing rounds 2 and 3.
Thankfully for them, though, the way he bought, he won't have it at least until like round 4.
Round 4 is the one to look at. There could be some trouble, but again, this Bandit in a very good pair of hands. Supa 4-3 here. Nice and easy.
I think you might see some teams be willing to run that Bandit as like your light buy if you're FPX buying on an anti-eco, because its niche is really killing light armored players, right? That's where it fits into the middle, where even at a little bit longer ranges, you can one-shot headshot to 125.
Yeah. Ranges where the Ghost couldn't do the same
Exactly.
thing. And for only 100 extra credits, not so bad there.
Yeah, will we see it on most eco rounds where you're playing full armor? I don't really think so. Just buy the Sheriff. It's going to be better still. But I think that is the exact niche where we might see the gun fit in a little bit.
Oh, teleport up into A main. This is about to be mayhem. I tell a lie. Everyone teleports and dashes away except for Okeanos, who's left completely on his own. And now a little bit of that mayhem comes online as Kesnit pushes straight through that smoke. And it's Dujizin running for the hills.
Yeah, nice hold for Envy. They wait for a moment, catch out that aggression, and then re-push in to eviscerate EG. Already down to only 2 players, and a B site open for business.
Since I think we have a little bit of extra time to continue this Bandit discourse going, because it's our first time seeing it, I do think there is an element, because I don't think we saw it at all in the first pistol round of Abyss, but we've seen one in all the pistols since then. I think there is a big thing to look at, your enemy agents, if it's more common for them to be buying a set of light armor or not. If you're playing against teams or agents that either don't have the right money, depending on the util they have to buy, or the tendencies, not so valuable on that pistol round, but there's plenty of good value.
There's also agents where it just works pretty well for in how they're buying. I think Viper is an example, right, where you spend 200 on your orb, and then, well, you have 600 left over. Do I really need a snakebite? Maybe not.
Yeah, when you can have a light armor, when the option is light armor, snakebite, or the Bandit, I don't hate the Bandit choice coming on through. Dujizin, through it all, has managed to pick himself up a Vandal, but doesn't see anyone on the other side of things, so is left without much of a purpose in this round.
That's so sad. You also have to remember that the gun sounds cool, and it feels good to shoot, so.
Okay, those are compelling.
Those are compelling sells.
Is there anything else you've got for me?
No, I mean the other reasons were the main ones.
Okay, yeah. I'm bought in. I'm mainly on the sounding cool thing.
Yeah.
This A main fight, though, was just absolute destruction. That was kind of a throwaway round from Evil Geniuses. You can write that one off, maybe overcommitting. Up into main.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take that. Now we'll see what they've got for us on an honest buy round.
Well, it looks like they might just be running back the pistol. All 5 players ready to go in B main. Envy, as compared to EG, are going to run a lot more fast rounds on their attack.
Fight up from Okeanos, trying to contest this orb so Poppin can't just get a free Nightfall. They're not even waiting for it. Kennen is up and over. Look at that dive. Nice work out of him. But Okeanos still yet to fall. 1 kill in mid, but Calm is completely holding it. Shot straight in the back of the head. Envy around every single corner. This time the B hit goes perfectly for them.
A bit more reserve from Envy that time. They slow things down in the middle of that hit, then re-swing in together to kill these players that flooded in backside. That was a great little pause.
But I also love how Envy call around EG's expectations. When you see Poppin on the fade is 1 off of the Nightfall, you expect you have a little bit of time. He's going to go into main, he's going to pick up the orb, they're going to ult, then they're going to exec.
Nah.
Instead, it was that combo piece between the paranoia out of Rossi and Kesnit on the dive that really got that initial pick going. And then, of course, like you said, reset and continue that hit in as a team after Kesnit had TP'd back to the squad.
So Envy keep their lead here, go up 9-7. And they're going to have that ultimate you talked about online now. Great paranoia as well. I think this is figuring out exactly where Supa's anchoring. He played that position on their last B-hit round. So here they have the perfect util combo set up to ruin his day.
One of the key differences, though, for Evil Geniuses is how they actually played on that B site. You know, not having the opportunity to fall back and play for the retake. That was just them trying to contest against the hit. I think maybe getting a little surprised by the speed at which Envy continued on forward here. And it has forced them now onto just Sheriffs and a Bucky.
I know Kiana's already dead in A main. EG was going for a re-clear kind of trap play in B main, but no one's home to receive that, so Envy instead will set up for a nice easy split into A. Scom's just hoping he can get something with that Bucky.
The aeroplane Buckster. I don't even think anyone from Envy is going to run towards him. They know the gaps they went for in this setup. Really taking their sweet time. Eggsters getting itchy. Getting itchy for a fight, and that's going to punish him. Still nowhere really for Com to play from after that fact. Need a few more lucky breaks for EG to have a shot.
I think he's just going to stay there till he dies. Inevitably to the spike.
Those footsteps reveal everything Inspire needs to know. Get the kill, slip on away, turn back in for another, mow down some more on the eco. Not too bad there for Inspire, and for Rossi to finish the job.
So Envy go up to 10, and we approach really the critical round here for EG. They have rifles online. They had some early success with the pistol, but they've yet to win a rifle round here on their defense.
Yeah, just watch that one more time. The only thing worth watching again, that Bucky kill coming online. But of course, we are going to be moving forward here. You put a big highlight on this round for EG, a must-win round for them. Good news is, I see Dujazin saved up enough money to go for the operator, and Evil Genius are going to call a timeout. Potter's going to craft up something to win this critical round. Yeah,
Envy's been going for a couple of these faster B-pops, as we've seen. That's been kind of their early success on this map. You saw there as well that kind of look in towards mid. This is a team that very often will show you a double dive at the beginning of the round, be that just to take mid control or actually to commit off a site exec. So I think a lot of this round for Potter is figuring out where Dujazin should set up, where he's going to get that opportunity to catch someone before they can actually commit that exec.
And Potter's going to know all that, and she's a very specific coach when it comes to instructions in timeouts. She's going to have an exact idea of how she wants her team to play out this round. She's going to give them options. If this team does A, B, or C, these are our then 3 responses. So you better believe EG are going to have big plans, especially in the early mid-round for this.
And she likes planning rounds ahead. Give him the first round. What do you do after that? Building back into a tie game. That's her hope out of this timeout. But it all relies on winning this one, of making good on Dujazin's expensive investment in that operator.
Seems like, just judging the minimap here, Evil Genius's the first plan is going to make things look a little bit more like the pistol round, with a very light B side of the map. Play for retake. See what they can do from there. Inspired is all the way up in heaven, as a matter of fact. Maybe some opportunities to look for some spam if Calm's going to throw a dart into the mix. As Eggster goes all the way up into heaven, sees that player. That could be a problem. Supa gets the kill on the other side. Now the hindrance really slowing things down for Eggster. Finally, the second player approaches through elbow. So it'll be 4-on-4 in the post plant. Keep your eyes on Okeanos, so there's a player coming in from his back. Inspire so quick to move up into mid, and he's not going to have a chance back into the round. Nightfall was stalling things back into spawn as well, so EG have nowhere to go.
This retake is so hard. You're all pushing in from one angle. Really comes down to Bao's paranoia.
Who's it going to hit? Absolutely no one. Envy in a great position, now committing to the pit, into the post. I think Evil Genius is just going to call this off.
I mean, a Viper's Pit, you have no way back in. You've already used your only tool, and you want to save that operator. This round is done. But you already see the hunt is on. Envy want to get that gun out of their opponent's hands, and that will be a successful endeavor. Everyone falls for EG, and Envy just 2 away from sending us to bind.
Evil Geniuses now with their money in the gutter. That was a round they simply could not lose. Yeah, Envy have done it to them, really switching things up. You see the success of that fight back into elbow, something that had eluded Envy in a similar round back all the way on the pistol.
Well, the thing is that the initial elbow fight didn't even go all that well. There was a team hinder on the player Heaven. Supa gets so much success holding that down. I think where the round got won was Inspire on that mid lurk, killing Bao, meaning there was only one angle to get back in.
Really helped things out. Interesting paranoia and a Hunter's Fury from Calm, sending so much into a round with just the Sheriffs. And at the same time, there was an ultimate on the other side of the map. Rossi behind enemy lines while Inspire tries to creep up through main, shut down by Dujazin. This round is a wild one, because you've still got Okeanos in sight. in this smoke. Evil Genius is starting to rotate over as well as Oki spots a player, spots a shoulder as well, needs some shots but cannot get them. And now Envy have to get past these two players back in spawn. Shouldn't be too hard as the hindrance keeps Kesnet alive against all odds. A shock dart now lands the kill. And now it's another shot out of Calm. He is stepping up for EG. 4-on-2 for them. Rossi in the smoke. The shorty has to be everything. He's low. Rossi's got to have these. But they dodge the flash. He's not looking any of the right ways. Calm, nobody has a bullet. It's madness. And Eggster now without a gun to play with. EG will take this Thrifty.
That round was all about Calm. The shock dart to confirm his teammate's kill. The share shots after that, locking things down. And as soon as Envy loses numbers, it's the same script. They will get aggressive. They will fight into you. And you saw EG, even in a chaotic round, a round they had to win, they take the time to pause, wait for that aggression in CT. And even though it got a little silly, they're rewarded for it.
They absolutely are.
What the?
So Evil Geniuses, who won Abyss on a Thrifty, have now kept themselves alive here on Corrode with a second. Have 4 ultimates heading into this next round. This would be a big one for them. Operator on the line from Oki. That's one of the duelists out of the equation.
But there's still more to come, and we are going to continue this push into the A site.
Hard for Envy to fight forward. The shot, the swing a little bit wider. So the plant goes down, and now a Viper's pit to try and flood back into the site. That's the idea out of Supa. Bow's getting spammed down, and a hindrance ready to go on the other side. So many ultimates about to be thrown into this retake. Evil Geniuses know how much is riding on. That's 4 ultimates at the same time. And yet it's all stalled out by 1 C's. By Poppin on this line. Flash turned, runs away. Eggster just being baited for. But Eggster's not doing anything. His whole team is falling down. Now he has to do something. He cannot. EG for a 9th.
EG have one of the best individual offers that you could have, and he chooses to step aside. Give the op to Okeanos this round. Steps in with 3, and again keeps his team alive. If they lost this round, game over. Like you called out, 4 ultimates used. Their money not in a great position.
Suck. Nice!
But they close it out, and the gap narrows to 2.
Getting a little bit nervous now for Envy. Stepping onto the stage for the first time. Now to lock in and close out this second map to keep things going. Quick up from Kesnet. Now drops down the lights as well. Nobody actually in that path. And it has allowed Envy to move forward very confidently towards the A side.
It's going to be a full 5-on-5 retake.
Last time Envy got stalled out on the forward look. This time they're not even trying it just yet. Now the cover clears. A paranoia out. EG pulling the trigger. Envy really shying away from these lines. They don't feel good about this, but they have the Nightfall now to fight on through. That'll be 1 out of Eggster. But Dudgeson doesn't even care. Can't hear anything back to back with Bow. And these kills continue to falter on in. The lurk now. There's a shorty right in front of him. Superman gets the first knockdown. He cannot take it. Envy on a map point.
A chaotic end to the round. Kesnet bypassing his opponent in the smoke, but gets the rifle up in time. Chuckling about the outcome. That was a very different approach from Envy. Like you called out, they didn't fight up. Instead, play a much more passive post plan. Only go for the duel once they activate that Nightfall. Really, a round like that, 5-on-5, comes down to the littlest things. And thankfully for Envy, their substitute closed it out.
Dudgeson steps into main. Not hit by the C's, but was hit by the flash. He teleports back, and now with the lurk dying in mid, Envy really locked into this fight. A saturate hits Dudgeson himself. I'm not even sure what happened. It's madness. Kesnet is up on top of site, and Envy continue on in. Nice hold out of Oki. So it's just Kesnet now in 4 on the round. Keeps Evil Geniuses in it.
Okeanos, in his sophomore year of VCT Americas, is just performing so well. 23 kills at this point on the second duelist. And what a job he did anchoring here. That last shot is nasty.
Really crisp work out of him. And as always, playing up to the crowd.
And that round did start really wild. Both Saturates went into that same corner and hit on to Jazin trying to anchor.
Yeah, I don't know. The round was in slow motion, and then it was in 8x speed.
They had to catch up.
Absolute madness.
So map 1, Envy started to build the comeback. EG was up 10-2, and they nearly brought it back. 9 rounds in the end, before it was a couple for EG, starting with an eco to close out. And now with the script flipped a little bit, it's Envy in practically that same position, with an eco round ahead of them, overtime starting to loom, with the task of closing out.
At least they have that security of overtime, but Envy need to turn things around here quickly. Of course, here in America's Kickoff, we got a triple elimination format, so not everything is over after a loss here, but to start off your year, Envy can't allow this second map to slip away from them.
But if you go all the way down to that lower bracket, the third bracket, you have to play so much to qualify. So many games to make it there. It's a lot simpler to just not
win?
lose, just stay in the upper bracket.
God, when you put it like that, it all makes sense.
And it does. Back to the well, maybe, with at least a feint of this B hit, but it's a very heavy hold from EG in main.
This is aggressive on the anti-eco from Okeanos. He's not entirely rewarded for it either. Jujizin never really took a chance to go for the swing, and again, looking for that fight. Evil Geniuses maybe trying to switch up the formula here on an anti-eco, be less predictable.
But they've given away a gun.
Yeah, it's not so rewarding.
Envy worked back into mid. That was pretty much uncontested ground.
Nice shot.
That's a problem dealt with. The gun is taken away, and now DG turns to attend to mid.
He's on all the right lines at all the right times. Does only get that second before being traded out. And Supa's on relatively low HP. There is a world here where Envy can get the spike down.
Both these players are so low. Scum got something cooking with the shocks.
Do Envy have an idea? Right now, that idea is separate, divide and conquer.
Practically the perfect guns against low HP players. An Odin and a Judge.
Paranoia forward, pushes back into the corner, Rossi for 3, and a thrifty map win for Envy. With 67 combined HP on those two players, they don't care. They see it through to bind.
A mirror of map 1. Eco rounds to shut down a comeback. And Envy push us all the way. A great recovery from them after losing map 1, especially in that second half.
This is a pretty good way to start off Americas. I like it. We get to see the full 3-map series. We get to see Envy, new kids on the block, win a map here, and Challenge have threat for winning it all. And there will be that third map of Bind coming up right after this and the Analyst Desk.